Now, hello everybody. How are you today? So you see, in our life, both two sexes, men and women, together makes the balance of life, or we, men and women, ensure the balance of our life. So, however, there are some differences between the two sexes, men and women, and this is the topic of the lessons today. Okay, women and men. This is the unit number 5. Okay, so I would like to introduce to you the objectives of the lessons today. The lesson is aimed at helping you improve your ability to engage in natural communication and in public speaking environments. It also helps you to improve your vocabulary and ability to exchange ideas related to the topic women and men. And you also have a good chance to improve your speaking, listening and reading skills. Okay, here are the 2 questions for you to discuss before you really enter the lesson. Now, number 1. What are some of the differences between men and women? Can you think of? For example, you can say women are more let's take some example. For example, you can say women cry more easily than men, or women like gossiping but men don't. Okay, women like wearing makeup but men never, for example. Now, question number 2. You decide whether you agree or disagree with the following statements. Here are the statements. Women cry more than men. Women live longer than men. Do you know why? It is said that women live longer than men because they easily cry, so they can relieve their stress. Okay. Number 3. Men are physically stronger than women. Number 4. A man's body consists of a higher percentage of water than a woman's body. Do you believe that? Men have a larger brains than women. Number 6. Women mix more work due to illness. Number 7. Look at here. Compared to men, more women are overweight. Number 8. More men prefer high carbohydrate meals. Number 9. Women are more able to endure pain. Number 10. Men and women are more different than similar. Number 11. Women are inferior to men. And number 12. Men need women more than women need men. Do you agree with each of them? Let's discuss with your partner in pairs or with your group mates in a group. And in order to carry out your conversation, you can follow the 2 models. Look at the model on your left-hand side. Student A, you can say, do you think that men are physically stronger than women? And student B, if you agree with the idea raised by the student A, you can say, yes, that's what I really think. Men are always physically stronger than men. Now look at the model on your right-hand side. In this model, student B doesn't agree with student A. And the question of student A. A man's body consists of a higher percentage of water than a woman's body. What do you think? Student B, because he or she doesn't agree with that statement, he or she can say, are you kidding me? I can't agree with you. the body's percentage of water is the same for both men and women. Now, you can follow either of the two models. The model on your left-hand side if you agree with the statement, and the one on your right-hand side if you don't agree with the statement. And pay attention to the lines or the phrases or the words in the pink color. If you agree, it's you can. There are a lot of ways for you to express your agreement, and one of the ways is that, yes, that's what I really think, or I quite agree with you, or I couldn't agree more. That's what I think, or you are telling me, for example. And if you don't agree, you can say, I'm sorry, but I think, or I'm sorry, but I can't agree with you. Okay. And this is the task one for you to practice more with your partner or group mates. The name of the task one is The Bluffer Guide to Men and Women. Now, look at the requirements. There are two requirements for you to carry out the task number one. The first requirement: with a partner, you read the following extract from two light-hearted books named A Bluffer's Guide to Men and Women. Then you decide which words should go in each gap: man, men, or woman, women. The requirement 2. After you are filling the gaps in the extract with the suggested words, you work in groups and you discuss the questions that follow the extracts. Now here we go. The extracts cover several fields in the characters of men and women. For example, in terms of approval, this is the extract for approval. So you see, number 1, we use the word man. Number 2, we use the word women. Men are suckers for approval. They want to feel that women have noticed them and need them. Best of all would be if. So number 3, what do you think is the most suitable word? Man or man, woman or women? You should fill it into the gap number 3. Go on, admire them. They would also like it if they trusted them, but that would probably be asking too much. Right. So you see, in this part of the extract, you should pay attention to different pronouns which refer to men, which refer to women. You have to notice those to filling the words with appropriate or the suitable word. About conversation, you do the same task and remember to pay attention to the words around the gaps or near the gaps. For example, in order to find a suitable word for the gap number 4, you have to pay attention to the two different features: 10,000 words, okay, and 4,000. So if this is 10,000 words, the feature must refer to women, maybe. And 4,000 words, this feature should refer to men, because it's normal that men talk less than women. It's the hint for you to guess the right word for the gaps. And look at number 6. Now who? Conversation is especially economical, often reduced to grunts and utterances of one syllable. This is the hint for you to choose the right word would refer to men or women. The next, a good cry. Okay. In your opinion, men cry more or women? Or it's normal that, or it's a reality that in our life women can cry easily than men? And maybe you can base on that to find the appropriate word for the gaps here. Okay, look at number 13. Tears make whom? Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Tears make the person here very uncomfortable. So you can base on the word uncomfortable to guess the person here. Okay, men or women. Of course, it's normal that women do not feel uncomfortable when they cry or when they shed tears. Okay. The housework, okay, is another field mentioned in this extract. The housework. Now, after you and your group mates or your partner complete all the words in the 4 parts of this extract, you follow the next. Here are the questions for you to discuss in group. It's better for you to discuss in group because there are several people for you to share the ideas. However, if you don't have a group to study with you, you can share with one friend, one partner. Number 1, is the text biased against either men or women, or is it equally critical of both? Number 2, are there any points that you found either particularly true or particularly unfair? Number 3, are such generalizations about men and women meaningful, or is this just sexual stereotyping? Number 4, in your opinion, what's the best or the worst part about being a man or a woman? For example, I can say the best part about being a woman is that I can wear beautiful clothes. But the worst part of being a woman is that I have to give birth to babies. I have to do the housework, a lot of things. Number 5, what differences did the extract not mention that you think are important? Because you see, there are a lot of things that should be covered in our life. However, the extract only mentioned the 4 fields. Okay, housework, conversation, approval, a cry, for example. And there are more things for you to discuss. And in the task 2, men, women, and relationships. In this task, we go on mentioning the differences between the 2 sexy men, women, and their relationships. Now, with a partner, you read the quotations about men, women, and relationships. Which do you like best? Compare your opinions with your partner. The first quotation is said by Mae West. I married beneath me all women too. So what do you think? The second, by Sajid Gabor, Hungarian actor. A man is incomplete until he is married, then he is finished. It's so funny. And the third quotation, my wife and I were blissfully happy for 25 years, then we met. Rodney Dangerfield, U.S. comedian. The fourth quotation, all women become like their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does, that is his. Number 5, men, we can't live with them and we can't live without them. Anonymous woman, we don't know the name of this lady. Number 6, A wife is a woman who sticks with her husband through all the troubles he wouldn't have had if he hadn't married her. Okay. Do you believe that wife or women always create troubles for men or husbands? And task 3 named men, women, and the world at work. Here we compare the differences or the similarity between men and women at the workplace. Do men really have more advantages than women in the world of work? Now with a partner, you discuss whether or not you agree with the following statements. Number 1, generally speaking, men have a better deal than women. Number 2, in all age groups, men earn more than women. Number 3, men have fewer choices in life than men. Number 3, women have fewer choices in life than men. That may be true, I think so. You know, women is limited by their age, by their health, by the duty to the families, etc. Number 4, on the basis of time spent working inside and outside the home, women work more hours than men to be a woman. I think it's true. And how about you? Do you agree with me? Number 5, the worst jobs are generally done by men. I don't think so. The worst jobs, what do you mean by the worst jobs? The worst job, is it the most dangerous or anything else? We have to clarify these words before we answer the question. Question number 6. In the modern world, men need to take on both masculine and feminine traits and roles. Number 7. Women who work full-time shouldn't have children because they will not have enough time to take care of their children, the family very well. And if they take care of the children or their family very well, it may affect their work. They don't have enough time to fulfill their work and the house duty at the same time. Number 8. Men's life expectancy has increased at the same rate as women's. Number 9. For many years, more money has been spent on research into women's health than research into men's health. Number 10. The idea of the man being the sole provider for the family is no longer acceptable. I think that's true. You can see that nowadays both men and women have to go out to work in the society, and when they return home they have to share the housework together. So you see, sharing the housework, doing the housework together, going out of the home to work, the roles have a little changed, and you see no one support their spouses on the life. So I think there's the balance between men and women. Men can't be the sole provider as they used to be. The task 4, in pairs, you discuss these questions. Number 1, are there more men than women in your workplace? I think it depends on the field of work. For heavy industry or technology, we can find more men than women at work. Okay, but in the field of tourism, for example, or teaching, we can see more women, for example. Number 2, is the number of women in your workplace increasing? Why or why not? You have to explain. Number 3, how has women's influence in the workplace changed? Do you know how? Maybe their position, their promotion, the salary, the talent, the ability, all of them have changed. Okay. Number 4, what effect has this been having on men? Pay attention the word this in the question number 4 is related to the idea in the question number 3. This means the change women's influence in the workplace. Number 5, this tag means gender roles. How much do you think gender roles have changed in Vietnam over the last 10 years? In groups, discuss the provided idea. You may begin like this. Apparently, women are much more self-confident and independent nowadays. However, they still prefer men to ask them out on a date rather than vice versa. And here are the provided ideas for you to discuss with your group mates or your partner about work. Do you think there are more men have jobs than women? Do you think there is less sexism in the office or not? Do you think nowadays there are more more female bosses, or there are more women who work as bosses than men? Do you agree that women do same jobs as men? In the home, men do housework, look after children, stay at home. Do they do those jobs? Women earn more than their partners. Is it true? Men in the home, do men talk about the feelings or discuss personal problems as women do? In the home, men and women spend leisure time in different ways. In the home, similar different topics of conversation with friends. Do men and women or either of them do that? Next, women likely to ask men out on a date. Okay, women more self-confidence or independence. So you see, for the last 2 ideas, we have just put them into the example. And this is the last task of the lesson. Talk it over. Discuss with your partner or your group mates to find out the most significant difference between women and men. Number 1, what characteristics do men and women look for in friendship or in a relationship? For example, I can say that women tend to look for understanding, caring in a relationship, for example. Question number 2. Do you think it's harder for women to excel in science, business, art, or politics nowadays? Or do they have the same opportunities as men? Does it vary from one culture to another? Let's explain. Number 3, do you agree that men make houses, women make homes? Is that true? If you say it's true or you say it's false, you should explain. Number 4, how would you imagine the image of a woman in the next century, the century 22 or the 22nd century? Do you think there has been an increased recognition of women's roles in the world nowadays? Can women ever achieve a balance between their new and traditional role? You see, they are the big, very, very big questions and challenging questions for you to discuss. And I think that's enough for the lessons today. Thank you so much and goodbye.